Alright, so we're going to do a rock here in Blender. And to start with, you get the default cube here. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And I'll hit Shift A to get mesh. And let's go Shift S, cursor to world origin. Shift A mesh. And I'm going to do an icosphere. And I'm going to create that. I'm going to give it another subdivision there. And what I want to go ahead and do here is I want to go into edit mode here, and I want to go to mesh and bisect. And then if I trim part of this off the edge here, I want the bisect options here, and I want to set it to fill and clear outer. And what I'm going to use is a big issue with rocks is they end up looking like potatoes because you just end up like kind of like rounding them all the time. So to get a rock shape, you want something that's got like a lot of shape to it, right? So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to keep going mesh and bisect. And I'm just going to do this a few times around here. F3 if you want to redo the last command here. And then I'll work at like just trimming this down until I get a shape that I like here. F3, bisect. Going to bring that down again. So there's my rock. And once I'm happy with it, with its shape, I'm going to move into along the top here, the Sculpting tab. And I've got it in sculpting mode now. It's still got really low resolution. And what I'm going to do is go into Dynatopo here. And then I'm going to set my detail size down to 6. And the brush I'm going to use is going to be the scrape brush here. And I'm going to set the scrape brush here. I'm going to set the fall off here to quite sharp. And then I'm going to set the options here of the normal to original normal. And what that's going to do is it's just going to keep the normal that I start with. And then I'm going to set the strength up to 1 here. So just give it max strength as well. And then if I come through and get to an edge that I like here, I'm just going to take this and just start painting in here. And it's going to give me all kinds of interesting shapes, this brush, on the surface of the rock. So I'm just going to keep painting some detail into this rock here. Oh, one thing that I have to turn off is the symmetry. By default, the symmetry is set on in Blender. So I'll just go down to symmetry options and turn off the X symmetry here. That was kind of making a little bit of weird artifacts for me there, but it's actually worked in my favor here because I'll just be able to paint through here. I'm just working with the mouse. And this is already giving me some nice kind of details in my rock here. And I want to keep these planes quite sharp here. And so this is one way to make rocks. There's so many different options. But like I said, what you want to do is avoid making a potato where you just kind of keep polishing the outside edge of whatever the shape is. So you want to keep it kind of again, you can't really make too many mistakes with rocks. Just working your way around the surface. Yeah, it's like an easy one to set up, and then it's like it's kind of a nice way to kind of get some I don't know, some nice planes going on the surface, right? So I'll just keep working this for a few minutes, and then when I'm happy with it, I'm gonna bring this into Substance, and then I'll do like a little low poly here, a quick low poly in Blender, and then I'll bring these through to Substance Painter, and then just add some kind of a rock material maybe in Substance on here, just to finish it off. Bring that cut right across there. All right, what does this rock look like now from a distance? Now, if you want to kind of make some variation to the surface of the rock, you can just come through with with a regular brush here, and you can just add some kind of detail to the surface. So I'll do that in a minute here. So I'll just take the regular brush here, which is the draw brush here. Do I want draw or I think draw is. Let's do the clay brush here, and then I'll set the stroke here. Let's see the stroke. No, not the stroke. The fall off again. I'm going to set it quite sharp, and then I'm just going to draw on the surface here, and that's just adding a little bit of surface on this rock here. So I'm just moving this around. If I hit control, I think that's just going to go the other way. So I'm just painting in a little bit of surface to this rock here. Just trying to get that shape built up. You know, most rock has a bit of surface on it. And now now that I've got some surface painted on here, now when I come back with my other brush here, which is I'm using the scrape brush, you'll see that this information that I've added is going to actually affect this brush a bit, because it's going off of the off of that initial normal that it finds. All right. Okay, so I think that's as far as I'm going to work it for now. I could always come back and, do a better job here. I'm going to say that's pretty good. I just want something right here. All right, that's fine. Let's just get one major detail across this face here. All right. Okay. There's maybe a little bit too much fine detail in here now. So I can get rid of some of it by just making some faces, some more kind of flattened out areas. Yeah, let's stick with that there. All right. So once you're happy with your base shape, for your rock, you can create a low poly of it. To do that, all you'll do is just go back into your modeling here, and we'll go into our object mode here. I'm going to duplicate this with just duplicate, Shift D. I'm going to add a modifier on here, which is going to be a decimate. Let's just see if we can find it here. Decimate ratio. I'm going to set this to quite small here. And let's just see what that looks like there. Let's go even smaller. That's probably fine. Now our layout for this low poly here, we'll just go to UV here, tab, and I'm just going to take this other high poly here and just hide it for a second. And I'm just going to cut some UV seams in here. So I'm going to go to edge. Let's see. No, we just need to go to our edge select here. And where do we want our UV seam? I'm going to mark these seams here. And then I'll just select all, unwrap. And let's load an image in here. Image, new. Let's make it a UV color grid. Okay. And then if we look in here at our rendering, let's just see what it looks like here. Where is my rendering here? Matcap. Oh, texture. We seeing the texture on here? That's the wrong shading there. Texture. Maybe I need a material on here. Well, regardless, let's just have a look at our UV here. That's just an auto UV. It's not great. Let's just leave it there for now. Let's export this out. We'll call it low rock. Oh, we'll just call it rock. Selected objects. And let's go to the high poly here. Let's open up Painter. New PBR is fine. Select the file. Let's bring our rock in. We could have actually set it smooth before bringing it in. Let's do that. Let's select our low poly rock here and let's just go and set it smooth. Object, where's that at here? Object. Where is it set smooth here? Object mode, view, select add object. Shade smooth. File, export, FBX, rock. Export FBX. And then I'll just go to edit, project configuration, select rock. Okay, there it is. Texture set, bake mesh maps, and let's load in our high here. And we'll bake all our maps. Now we are getting a lot of kind of triangle type shapes in there, which I think it's okay. But if you didn't like that, we could probably improve on that with, let's just have a look here. Add modifier. How you doing? Is that gonna crash our machine here? Maybe we should run a Decimate first. Let's try that. Let's try that now. Well, everything looks a lot softer. I don't know if that's good or not. I think I actually liked it prior. Let's get rid of that. Is your meeting right now? No, no, that's cool. It's all good? All right, guys. That's the Blender rock from kind of start to finish. So I'll just stop there. There's kind of some breaks and pauses and stuff in there, but um, that's basically the rock. What you can do in a level is you can take something like this and spam it around and scale it and stuff like that, and then you can end up creating your environment. You know, you make like 3 or 4 of these things, and then you can have like a whole environment just by kind of placing these and scaling them and stuff like that, right? So we'll leave it there.